Guess you forgot to add us back into the
Well,
stream.
I was like, whoa, hey, it's just me. Okay.
Bound to happen sooner or later. Welcome to NasCanucks, presented by Vibraprint, your Canadian-based auto racing podcast with a Canadian flavor. Spin?
Yep. Sure.
Attitude? Yep, definitely.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm Ben. He's Doug. Why am I so dark? I'm all like dark on this side. That's weird. All right, whatever. We missed last week. Welcome back. We got Terry and Dan in the chat here. All right, how about I'll just recap Talladega. All new winners and about a 6-pack of red flags.
Yes. And one winner absolutely lit the NASCAR world on fire with conspiracy theories because NASCAR made it rain.
Yeah. I just blame the fact that it's an old Indian burial ground.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Hey, there's Amanda. Hey, sis. Maybe.
So Tate Fogelman in the Truck Series.
Yep.
Brandon Brown in the Xfinity.
Yep, that was cool to see.
And then Bubba Wallace in the Cup Series, getting that first win.
And both Bubba and young Mr. Brown were quoting the same two words repeatedly after winning their respective races.
Yes, and only all the calls I heard come in, it was only people only complaining about one person doing it. Apparently.
Yeah, because I was at first I'm like, are they saying F yeah or let's go? Because it kind of sounded a couple of times either way, and I'm like, I think.
Oh yeah, sorry, the crowd on one. But yeah.
Charles 75 ends here, lurking while working. Nice. Yeah, so that was cool. Yeah, it was Talladega. It was what it was. As I recall, the Xfinity race was the race of the weekend. But there we are. So getting into Roval action. One of our favorites.
You know what? This weekend here absolutely sucks.
Because we're not there.
Well, that and every 40 seconds, I seen the camper. Between turn 6 and 7, because
they had
turn 6,
2 cameras on it, Doug, the entire race, because they had that long shot across, which I'm like, there's nobody standing on Redneck Hill. Who's shooting that angle? But it was straight on with, the camper in the background. And then if they got rid of the ticker, you would see them coming around the corner, and they were all right there because you could see their flags a few times. And it looks like the big red trailer right before that was part of it. I think that was Justin's. I saw photos of him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know Larry, friend of the show that passed. His trailer, his camper would have been right at turn 6, kind of right where they put the circle for turn 6. Marshall's was right where they put the circle for turn 7.
Yeah. Can we?
And if you go down to turn 8, where they put the little dot for turn 8, that's TJ's camper.
Yes. Can we chip in some paint for Marshall to paint that trailer again? Because it just looks like it's worth about $2. It looks straight out of Sanford and Son.
But then if you paint the camper,
it blends.
You cover the sticker.
Oh, that's true.
You cover the sticker.
Yeah. So,
take your pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was it. Yeah, because it was literally every lap. I'm like, there they are. Yep. And there was nobody else really around them.
Like, not at all.
Like you could see the aerial shots, and it was like them, and then nothing because it was just cars parked like either side of their compound type thing. Like they had that whole area to themselves.
Yeah. I think Marshall did a good job parking on because I think they may have had about like 8 inches between the camper and the
I was like,
and the catch fence.
Since I don't do heights, I'd like to be able to I'm like, could you give it 18 inches? Because then I could just like lean against the trailer and just watch the cars whipping by.
Yeah, this you were hanging over the track. I seen Justin, another friend, posted some video of him kind of hanging over on top of the track, and and
it was a lot of action in that quarter. They saw it all.
Well, yeah. Well, starting off with the Xfinity race.
Yeah.
That first wreck was Sage Karam. Right there.
And it bookended because at the Xfinity race on the last lap, It was someone like, I forget who it was. They got into it right there too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then of course, and then the biggest tap of the weekend was right after that.
Yeah,
they would have had a nice view of that. We could get reports on both angles because TJ would have seen it coming and Grant and then would have seen it going.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize how tricky it was around. Like you hear them, a lot of people easing around. You hear the tires just a howling.
Well, I think we would probably have a better appreciation for it if we would have driven it the proper way when we did drive the Roval, because we took the part of the course that they don't use, thinking that, well, we did the one part, that long straightaway.
The part that the long stretch and then around and up. I've done that. I did that one, and but I didn't have the tire pressure set quite right. I think that I'm going to go with that as my reason for the non-competitive time.
Plus, the Ram probably wasn't as balanced.
It clearly was not set up for road course action. It was set up for super speedway only.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, with the Xfinity race was interesting, points up and down throughout the day. I thought Cindric would have been more dominant, but not so much.
Yeah, no.
Dinger.
He's the man to beat. I can't say anything else.
He's got to be having fun, isn't he?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So Dinger wins it. Can't leave out the rant.
Well, yeah. You do the rant, and then we'll talk. I got another thing at the end of the race as well too.
We had seen, they had said, there's stop and go penalties if you cut either of the chicanes and blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, and to take evasive actions because he was coming in hot. His brake pedal went to the floor. I forget who that was. Who was that? He took a left, and they had curb.
Josh Balicki, because his flight got canceled at Chicago, so then he had to drive all night and run his like 4 or 5 laps.
Yeah, no, I think it was about halfway through the race.
Oh yeah, well,
and so when he hit the curbs, first of all, there should be no curbs. Rumble strips, fine. A curb is a curb. It's meant to stop. Hence, curb. Forward progression. There you go.
Well,
he went. I've seen cars go over curbs. I've seen cars go under curbs. Indy. This was the first time I ever saw a car just go through a curb, because after he went through, there was no curb. There was a gap where a curb and a bunch of bolts. Which leads me to my rant. If you're building a track, don't ever bolt down curbs. You make them permanently affixed, or you don't have them. Especially when they serve no purpose. Because if you were to cut through there, Doug, you got to stop anyways.
Or how about learn from a few weeks earlier? My guess.
Yeah, but Marcus doesn't own Indy. Roger didn't return his calls, I guess. I don't know.
I guess, yeah.
But I noticed they were gone on the pace laps on Sunday. All those.
They were taken out.
But the funny part was like literally, was it Jeff Burton and Pop-Tart? They're out there in the pace car, and they literally looked over because, Burton was driving the piss out of the pace car, hitting the curbs and stuff, scaring Steve. And they looked over and they went, well, they don't look anything like the Indy ones. They should be fine.
Well, and the thing I think people don't realize as well is when we're there in May, the turtles aren't there on those turns. But where you see the other red and white cement patio stones, for lack of a better term, there's a drop on those as well too. And that's like a good 3-4 inch drop.
On the backside.
On the backside of them, yeah. So you're actually getting a little bit of a launch off each one of those as well too, because I know I may or may not have stumbled over a couple of those late one night.
Yep.
A lot of toes have been stubbed on those.
I laughed.
Yeah.
Terry says that's why you haven't won a NASCAR race. Tire. I used to be a tire guy. I used to be setting those tire pressures every week, reading the track and adjusting accordingly. Because on dirt track, you adjust it for handling as well as track conditions. So that's always fun. So,
yeah, I also liked the end of that race, Brandon Brown.
Yeah.
Screw it. I ain't turning this thing around. I'm just going to reverse this.
I'm going backwards
across the
line. Yep.
And you know that, and the way that he was kind of fishtailing it through, you know that he had the arm over on the kind of driving over the shoulder.
He had the belts loosened, so he could just
yeah.
So, or he proved that if he's going to be mirror driving like at Talladega, he needs to be going in forward and driving the mirror.
Yeah.
What else was there that happened there?
Yeah, not.
Just trying to think. Oh, Michael Annett back, even though he lost his ride. We found out after our show last week. Well, we didn't have the show last week.
You didn't have the show last week. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, he shouldn't have. He should have just stayed home. He should have just stayed home. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, Dinger won. So had so much fun. He figured, hey, let's do it again on Sunday.
Yeah, and I think that the hard luck for that there is it comes down to the cousins.
Oh yeah.
Jeb and Harrison.
Birthday boy Harrison in to the next round. Jeb not so much. And Jeb, they might as well start calling him Matty D because they're making it blatantly known that he doesn't have a ride or any prospects for next year.
More on that later on in the news section.
Yeah. I'm not going to say GMS. But that's a guess for me. So on to Sunday. I don't know what the car count was. Don't remember. Doesn't matter. Early on, we had drama pretty much right from the start because the 48 and the 5 both having alternator or battery issues. Which was kind of interesting because, again, Steve Letarte, he's all, well, I'm a Hendrick guy. I know these things, and they're like, he's going to have, that Alex Bowman, he's going to have everything turned off, every fan in there, no driver's aid, no nothing. Yeah, about 2 hours later, they said, how's the battery hold? Oh, we're at 12.1. You have all the cooling stuff for your personal stuff disabled, right? No. I turned off the brake fans and stuff. I'm fine. I'm toasted. This is nice. Well, why don't you turn that stuff off and we can be competitive the rest of the race?
Mm-hmm.
But interesting, and again, Steve Letarte had to come out. Well, those Hendrick guys, premier mechanics, even though they don't get a lot of practice because they don't get to wrench on the cars as much during the weekends and stuff. But they were able to replace an alternator belt without losing a lap. Okay. Under caution at a road course, that takes a 3.5 minute lap. Mike Ford and the Gibbs crew that we witnessed changed a carburetor without losing a lap.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot harder. And that was a 1 lap under caution on the oval.
That's a negative on that one.
No, he was always he went from sweeping floors to kissing Dale Jr.'s ass in all for Hendrick Motorsports.
Yeah. His other comment was when Rick asked him about if they carried the extra alternator belts or a third one.
Yeah.
Oh hell no! The batteries. Yeah. Oh hell no! We're only 3 miles down the road. I would have already been there and back by now to the shop.
Yeah. It's like maybe it's 3 miles round trip. It's not 3 miles each way, Steve.
Yeah, no.
Is he counting like going from the booth down into the infield to get his car, driving out and around? Because, if he goes down the elevator and goes right out the front entrance, he can walk across the street, skip through the gypsies, through the trailer park, and you're there.
Yep.
Yes, Brian Patty, you'd be thinking of Basement Guitar Superstar. So, we just do it now because it's the Juggernaut. Okay, you're such a fanboy, Steve. It's not even funny. Like, even Junior's just like, I ain't getting into this.
Yeah, Junior was quiet on a lot of stuff.
Well, it's because he had to do play-by-play the day before. Or actually last week. He's still recovering from that because for those who haven't seen, you might want to check out one of his YouTube videos. He talks about how much I screwed up because he's trying so hard as a play, but I think he really wants to transition like that way. I'm not just next driver. I'm a commentator and he used to drive. Like he wants to get that way. Hey, Keith H. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Junior, he screwed up large last week a couple times. Apparently he didn't know emu health is emu. It's not emu. He's like, what? That's an animal?
Yeah. Well, he also has to make sure that there's oil in the car, because that's what the car needs to run is oil.
And mirror.
It's not oil, it's just oil.
Yeah. And he gets people hate on him all the time to say mirror.
Yeah.
He's always checking in the mirror. Yeah, it's mirror. No, in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other
tried to pull that Ken Squire thing, and we were late 8 laps in, and it's supposed to be like we're 8 laps and 26 miles into this 500-mile race. He's like, all right, we're going to commercial. We're 8 laps in, and that's about 93 miles an hour. 93 miles into the race. No, because he had his stats guy print all it so I could pick whatever lap it was. It's going to be this many miles. I'm going to sound like Ken Squire. It's going to be great. Except the guy compressed it in such he couldn't read it. So
yes. So the other feud they were really pumping out that feud.
Oh, Jesus, weren't they? Yes. So midway through the race, we'll say. Because it was in the second stage, early in the second stage, I think. So, midway. Harvick saw an opportunity. He didn't pan it. He goosed it. Junior, he panned it. No, he didn't. He wasn't just hammer through the floorboards, just lighten up his own tires while he's turning the other guy because he let off because Logano became involved. Go, hey, what's going on over there? Don't worry about it, Joey. Just run your own race. I like to drive fast. It was Joey at the end, right in front of the guys. He got taken out right at the end there.
Yeah.
So, with Jeff Bergman, I don't know how you can see over the hood with it buckled up a couple inches like that. Well, Jeff, Joey's 6'2" and not 5'2" like you. Hey, Jeremy, you're up late. So we're getting right to that. So, Harvick, he goosed the throttle. I don't know, maybe he had a cramp and his foot slipped for a second. I don't know, but it was perfect. It was veteran. And poor Cole Custer, he got the receiving end of that because clearly, if you watch the replays, you see the 9 chopped down. And if you look at Harvick in the replay, he's looking in the mirror the whole time waiting for it. Because he went like this. He flinched and he didn't get him. But
no, Cole Custer finished him off.
Yeah. So and then somehow that car's still competitive. And but the whole time under caution, all of a sudden NBC, we got something to talk about now. It's the rivalry. Oh, here, roll the highlights from Bristol. All right. And show the caption there, like always like talking to my 9-year-old son the whole bit.
Yep.
And then they got hold of the Hendrick audio. Conveniently, no Harvick audio from the same portion of the race, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, well, I'll just wreck him. I'm just going to wreck him. That's what we do. Worst case, I'll just wreck him. And Junior's like, you just said that, and we just broadcast it, so you better not do that because we got precedent. And then of course, it was Letard to me. Oh yeah, there's precedent. And then Junior said, well, not exactly, because Kenseth was multiple laps down when he decided to just do a John Force burnout.
Kenseth was in the garage. Kenseth went to the garage and came back out.
Exactly. And timed it, though, because he was idling down pit road, and he went, oh, you're coming around?
Oh, yeah.
He hammered pit road speeding penalty. He didn't care, and he just...
No. Oh, he had the big old 22 Magnet right on the front.
It was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah. So then...
They were talking about that and checking lap times, and
he was starting to have issues with the bumper cover.
Yeah, amazing how you don't get black flagged for that hanging off for half an hour.
And NASCAR came out yesterday morning or this morning, one of the two. Steve O'Donnell came on and said, bumper cover is not needed for a road course.
That's true. But we've seen them hanging off cars at road courses before, and you black flag people to have them come in.
Well, they're not. And then some people said, well, sure, yeah, but what about when you're running on the oval part? Aren't you still going high speed then?
Yeah.
No, you're still on a Roval, so it's not considered a super speedway.
Yeah.
Or a short track.
Even though, guess what kind of tires they were running, Doug? Those weren't road course tires. They comment how hard these tires were for the high banks of the high speed portion of the track.
And then conveniently a little later on, someone's bumper cover created a caution.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't that handy?
Mm-hmm.
So that I'm just going to skip on down towards the end there, because there was a brief period in time where Chase did see that rear bumper of Harvick.
Mm-hmm.
And Harvick, you can tell, again, panicked because he saw it, him coming into turn one. Oh, my foot slipped. I don't know what happened. Tire locked up, and I just planted it right in the wall.
Yep. My butt clenched because I seen Truex in there as well too, and I was like, oh,
yeah, you're not again. Nope. So, yeah. So, I think Harvick panicked a bit there, and then by the time Elliott's on the backstretch, the team's coming over the radio and go, Doug's wife's real. Doug's wife's real.
Yeah.
Yep. That happened. And we got to mention William Byron. Even though he drives for the Evil Empire, he's not too shabby, and he put on a hell of a race.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what's his name? Reddick.
Tyler
Reddick. That's it.
Reddick.
Not too shabby either.
Oh no, yeah. Second comes in.
He's reminding me a lot of Dinger out there the way he was running.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which was great to see. Your boy Truex had early issues, and he came right back up and was running up front at the end.
Yep.
And then it was interesting, and they did not, of course, the NBC team, they'll never admit fault. But they even commented during the race that, Kyle Larson there, he's not much of a road racer.
No. Not at all. No.
So, he's only won now 3 of the road courses this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Is it the program? Is it the driver? Is it both?
Who knows?
I think part of it is the program.
I would think so too, yeah.
Yeah. Especially after witnessing 2 years in a row, the 9 basically right off the car and still.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then I'm not sure what happened then near the end, near the middle, near the start. I got no idea, but I don't know. There was some sort of issue between Truex and Wallace. Everyone was like, oh, Truex complaining again. Shut up. They were talking. But yeah. Who knows? On to the round of 8. Oh, yes, 8.
Yes. Right.
With,
round
what
of 8.
Is it? Yeah. What do we have here now?
100 cars eliminated. The 48 and the 24 are out. Keselowski's out as well, isn't he? Or no?
No.
He made it in. Harvick's out.
Harvick's out. And
Byron. No, Byron.
No,
48, 24, the 4. Oh, and
20,
Bell.
The 20.
Right.
No, Christopher Bell.
Right.
Which, memories of Jamie, I got it right there, I think, but Jamie McMurray in the Irwin Tools car. Almost same paint scheme.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah.
It's good to see. So, some off-season news now we should get into.
So do we start with the trucks first and go up, or up and go down?
Let's do that. Okay.
So what I've got so far is Austin Hill not returning to the 16 of Hattori Racing.
That's right.
Which I could kind of see the writing on the wall when he did get eliminated from that round, because it was people weren't happy. Like he said, like, oh, I made a mistake driving, and Hattori was really silent on that. So That's what that. Other truck stuff, GMS Racing
Yes.
only has one driver for next year, signed, sealed, being Grant Enfinger. Chase Purdy, Tyler Ankrum, Zane Smith, still unsure what they're doing for next year.
I've heard heavily rumored Zane may be moving to Xfinity next year.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's what's going on with GMS. We go up to Xfinity, as we talked about. Michael Annett not returning. He is going to not fully retire from racing, whatever that means.
Well, you know what? You can still do part-time in Xfinity. I was thinking about that, like the old, I'm scaling back. You can't in the charter system scale back.
No, not at all.
Because it's not an open entry list anymore. Or with qualifying. Because you could do that. You could be Cale Yarbrough and run your 12 races.
Well, but there's no charter system in the Xfinity series.
That's why I'm saying you can still do it in Xfinity.
Okay, yeah. So that lineup will be Josh Berry in the 1.
Yeah.
And
Mayer in the 8.
Mayer in the 8, and then everyone else just kind of falling in line.
Yeah.
Gregson the 9 and Allgaier in the 7.
Yeah.
Other thing is Big Machine Racing, which is Big Machine Vodka, partnering up, and they will be going into the RCR Xfinity garage up in Welcome with Jade Burford to still drive the 48 for them.
Okay. Nice. And they're still RCR still fields the 2-car for Myatt Snyder.
Yes.
I assume that's still an RCR affiliation because they've been running the 2-car forever and a day.
Give me a minute. Jeb Burton will not be returning to Colleague Racing, as you alluded to before. He is out. He is looking for a ride.
Yeah.
Not sure where he's going to land. And the 2-car of RCR, Myatt Snyder not returning to that car next year.
That's why I say currently fielding.
Sheldon Creed will be driving the 2 for RCR next year. So he is leaving the truck series and GMS going to Xfinity.
Well.
So
I like that. I like that fit. I like that.
That's that. Cup news.
Oh, before we get to Cup.
Okay.
I don't know how do I phrase this. So where is the driver for next year for the 22 car for Penske in Xfinity? Or does Penske have an Xfinity program next year?
I don't know. That has not been announced. Is that where Matty D lines up?
Well,
next year.
Well, see, now that leads into Cup because for the last 2 days and quite a bit, almost weekly, we've been having Goodyear tests for the next gen car or next gen tests. So, but Austin Cindric was driving the Wood Brothers 21 at the next gen test.
Well, yeah, but he's in the 21 for next year.
No, he isn't. He's in the 2 next year.
Oh, sorry. That's right. He is in the 2. But, okay, yeah, I almost called him Ward Burton. Harrison Burton is in the 21.
Yes. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Also, they mentioned their next gen tests coming up at Bowman Gray and White Speedways, short tracks. Bowman Gray probably to test for the Busch Clash because they can't race at the current location for that. Oh, and also they are doing at an unspecified dirt track a test for the next gen car with only one driver, and that's Stuart Friesen.
Nice.
Which I thought, that's a big deal.
Well, and you know what?
There are some, it could be Kyle Larson shaking down a dirt car.
Yeah. Maybe they don't want to give him the unfair advantage in that.
Are you, though? Like they commented during the Cup race, after he was given the boot out of NASCAR, the man ran 91 short track races last year, Doug. Do you know how many he won of those 91?
I believe it was 90?
No.
89?
85.
Yes.
85 of 91 races. Handful of series and disciplines and such.
Another thing we didn't talk about during our Xfinity recap was how about the shout out to the Pinty series that they gave, talking about Alex LeVay.
Yes.
But how he drives so great at the Roval because when they do street courses in the Pinty series,
But
those walls are right up on the track.
in fairness, they're quoting Alex Lebay and saying that because they asked, "How are you competitive here?" And he's like, "I ran Pinties. We run street courses several times a year. Yeah, because they run the Honda Indy course, they run Trois Rivières. Any other street courses? Well,
there was the one at the airport in Edmonton, wasn't there? That was
they haven't done that in ages. They haven't done that since IndyCar ran there.
But still, they're talking about the Pinty series there.
Yeah, you mean the race at the airport in Edmonton? We're only in Edmonton. It's too noisy. It's a fucking airport the rest of the year.
Yeah. But speaking of Pinty series.
Yes. Oh, I saw some shenanigans at the end of that one.
I didn't get to see that. But speaking of Pinty series, a race team that's in the Pinty series, in the Truck series, in the Xfinity series, they got an invite to Le Mans.
Your favorite race team?
And in a couple,
Ware Racing?
Rick Ware Racing will be aligning with Stewart-Haas Racing for next year.
Yes.
You're in the Cup series.
Speaking of which, did you know that Rick Ware of Rick Ware Racing does in fact have one Cup start to his credit as a driver?
It sounds familiar.
Watkins Glen, 1989. Yep. Came up in part of that YouTube series I watched, Rise of the Field Fillers.
So
another thing. Yeah. I can't remember where that came up, but it came up.
Hasn't been announced yet, but I've heard heavy rumors, is the crew chief of the one car right now, McCall.
Yes.
Going to the 6 car with Brad Keselowski is the front runner for that.
Right.
Which then leads us
to Booty Barker's back in the garage.
Well, yeah, he got the win, and I wanted to talk about it last week. We didn't get a chance because we didn't do the show.
I was just wondering if he still owns that same Camaro.
I don't think that'd still be alive.
But, 10 years ago.
His interview with Claire B. Lang after the race, I listened to on the radio. Absolutely fantastic, because she asked him how it felt, and he was like, you could tell that he had, like, just the way he talks, you can tell what his facial expression was.
Yeah.
He had probably the biggest shit-eating grin of all, because he was pausing between his words, and he could just, he was happy, and he was like, you know what? We're plugging away, because you know what? I've lost thousands of races, and I didn't let it break me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let one win define me. It's we're staying. We're going back. We're going to work. We're going for the Roval. But losing that many races didn't break me. This one race isn't going to make me.
Speaking of which, it was rumored that Denny Hamlin at the Roval test was going to drive the 23 car. Didn't actually happen, because the other rumor was he didn't fit in the car. Because I'm thinking, isn't Bubba like 4 inches taller than him?
I think so. Bubba's a bigger guy.
Yeah, and Denny is not.
And other Cup news is the question.
Where's Ty Dillon?
GMS Racing driving the number 94 for full time for GMS next year.
In Cup. Nice.
Then...
Hey, good luck with that, Ty. The whole shit show is going to fall apart by April.
Yeah. Then how about probably the biggest news out of the weekend is the new Cup team coming in. Brand new Cup team coming in. I'm going to say probably one more thing to hate for for some of the Southern base that go along with Toyota coming in.
Sure.
Would be the Euro team that's now coming in, who run right now in the NASCAR Euro Series. So Team Hesseberg will run a partial Cup schedule in 2022. So they will be partnering up with the Rayom Brothers Racing out of Vancouver. Josh Rayom.
We don't like them.
If you remember last year, he had Strudelgate.
I'm like, yeah, he's a Canuck I don't support.
Because apparently he likes to put his frosting on his strudel a certain way.
Yeah.
So they will be actually they're based out of Mooresville. So they'll be setting up all the cars for them.
So you're saying it's not going to be a very competitive team?
I'm not sure.
Wasn't he supposed to retire last year after Strudelgate?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that other dude in the truck series, but that didn't happen either.
Yeah.
So the car will be driven.
Steal Jennifer Joe Cobb's hauler again.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. The driver of the car will be Loris Hesemans.
Sure.
His father is the owner of the team. He is the he's a NASCAR Whelen Euro Series champion, former champion.
Right.
And a former Formula One champion will be driving some of the races as well.
Who was in the garage area during the next gen test.
Yes, so he's doing all the testing of the car as well. Would be Jacques Villeneuve returning to NASCAR.
Mr. Baggy fire suit himself. He started that trend and it ended with him as well.
Yeah, so it's nice that although we don't like him after Strudelgate, but there is a little bit of a Canadian connection coming in with this new team driving the 27.
Well, let's be honest. Lately, Jacques hasn't been in the news for the right reasons either lately. So.
Well, hey, maybe they can bring some.
Maybe you can use some of that money that's been stored offshore tax-free.
Well, maybe I was thinking maybe they can bring some luck back to the 27 after Paul Menard did that number just.
I think the 27, because Jacques ran the 27 number into the ground before Paul Menard brought it back. Because remember Jacques' brief foray into NASCAR, which lasted one race, and then if some dude did not qualify, I believe he had the Castrol 27.
Yeah, just forget.
Oh, like Casey Atwood.
Yeah, so they will be. It will be Fords. They will be driving Fords. So,
well, that's interesting.
That's
What else we got going on there? Has Gibbs firmed up his Xfinity lineup for next year?
Not that I've heard yet. No.
Yeah, I assume Ty's going to move into Harrison's ride.
I'm guessing he had another strong run this weekend.
Yeah.
So I think that's the natural fit for that one.
Yeah.
But
and then they got the other kid too, right? The one that's running ARCA with him.
Yeah, they got a couple. Like they're just they're just stacked.
Oh. Well, it's like Junior Motorsports. Like I've been watching a bunch of Junior stuff. And he's got late model teams and this and that, and they supply it for other people to come in. Like this guy's coming over from Europe, throw him in a late model. All right, Junior's got late models to throw him.
Well, that's where Josh Berry and Sam Mayer came from. It was Junior's late. Junior threw him in a late model car.
Yep.
So.
And I wanted to mention also, making another start this weekend with Sage Karam from the IndyCar series. Ran in the Xfinity race.
Yes, he had that accident right in front of where we would have been.
Yeah. And he's looking to do some more of that next year. And Alex Palou was hanging out in Kurt Busch's pits on Sunday, and Alex, after coming off, or he's reigning IndyCar champion, part of Ganassi Racing for now. Which was interesting, too. Ganassi had the next-gen car at the test. Yeah,
probably just doing some stuff for Trackhouse. Because apparently Trackhouse is going to be bringing a bunch of their people over to their shop.
And Trackhouse showed off something that's coming back next year with limitations, and that is chrome numbers.
I was going to mention that, yes.
Chrome numbers are back in some form. Notice way too many numbers forward. I do not like that. And they're also looking at running the exhaust out under those numbers right at the front. So we're going to have like drag car shorty headers, I guess. Because, surprise, surprise, Doug, running the exhaust through the running boards and coming out the running boards is causing heat in the cars. Who'd have thunk that? Also, I noticed window vents. Rear windows having some ventilation, and the front windows having it as well.
I don't know if you can see that.
Are we trying to see the front window vents?
Yeah.
No, we can't. It's just blurry. There it is. Kind of, but yeah, you can't.
But there's your exhaust out underneath the number.
Yeah, and it comes out both sides of the car now too.
Yes.
I don't like it. Independent rear suspension. They now run a transaxle, so there is no transmission. 5-speed gearbox, sequential aluminum rims with the center lug, 18-inch rims instead of 15, and I believe a wider tire as well is taller.
Oh, lug nut.
Yeah.
Next week in Texas, Kyle Busch will not have Ben Bayshore on the pit box. He had too many lugs loose.
You know, that's silly rules, basically null and void next year. And I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
You got a loose lug next year, you got big problems.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, looking forward to that. And they are doing the stupid gimmicky, we're going to run this horsepower package at this track and this horsepower package and spoiler at this. No! Just run the same damn car all year. Mm-hmm. And then if you need to, throw a restrictor plate on it as needed. Mm-hmm. No, because then they're doing that all the intermediate tracks. So Xfinity will be faster yet again. Although, the new suspension... Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Anything else? Oh, the driver's closer to the center of the car now, too, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Pink window nets this weekend, I noticed.
Well, yeah, that was because of a fan that wrote to Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch went to NASCAR and said, hey, can we do this? They did a bunch of testing. Yep. They dyed the window. So it wasn't just actual extra materials sewn onto the window net. They actually dyed the one set of the window nets. They had to do a whole bunch of testing, make sure the dye didn't weaken that window netting. And
they didn't need to do any testing, Doug.
Well,
I had a pink window net 25 years ago.
No.
I know you think so. You would. I would.
Not me.
Hell, this thing was still legal when I started racing. That ain't stopping much.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so we're off to Texas next week.
Yep. I was a little scared during the race there. My boy Larson. I'm going to say my boy Larson because I've been calling now for 2 months that he's going to win. He's my lock. Well, not lock, but pick. Getting close to being a lock, but he scared me there.
I think he's a lock now for the Final Four.
Oh, I'm thinking no title. I'm pretty much.
I'm still not there. I'm still not there for the title.
Well, it's too much of a crapshoot still, but still, he's it's his title to lose. Much like Dinger is shaping up because Cindric, where are you? I'm driving the 2 next year. Yeah, that's great. You and Joey.
Yes.
Smiling idiots. And Blaney going, what did I do in a previous life? Seriously.
Actually, I can kind of see him saying that. Yeah. And to Jeremy saying before, if we think the Harvick is done with this feud, I would have said yes in the crash. Then dipshit opened his mouth after the race, and no, it's not.
Yeah. Although, I'll give chicken shit credit on that one. I did that. Well, I wish him a happy off season and a happy Christmas. And I'm like, ooh, that's okay. You know he can thump you, right, Chase?
Well, you've got 4 races left.
Yeah. And guess what? He's out, so he doesn't give a rat's ass. You do not want to be around. That was interesting too. They say drivers, now as opposed to back in the day. I was watching the Chocolate Myers was talking, they go, well, Martinsville's coming up. That's a payback track. If you hit Earnhardt and took him out in a race, if it was Daytona the next week, guess what? Next week's payback. It doesn't matter if it's a short track or now this whole, we'll save it. for a short track. Nah, take him out at an intermediate. Who cares?
Yeah.
Give him the wall.
Yep.
Take him out of the race. That's the whole point, taking him out.
Mm-hmm.
None of this pansying around. Jesus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have a bit of a rivalry, even if it is kind of somewhat manufactured.
Yeah.
Because Harvick's at the point where I think it's just like, if he's in my way, I'll wreck him. Like, I do not give a rat's ass about Chase.
No.
He's just on that list now.
Yeah.
The same as Logano's on that list, and a couple other guys. Whereas might be mean more to Chase. Oh yeah, Harvick and me are in a. Harvick does not give a rat's ass about you, Chase.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And be careful. He'll sick healing after you. He'd probably take you out. Especially if he's growing half as big as his mother.
Not going there. Yeah. So, winter is coming. Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. How do you know winter's coming? The first sign of Delana Harvick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long before Vince Neil was a meme.
Yep. Yeah, we're in shit show time. Yes, we are.
Yep. Yeah, and we're down to 3 people watching. How about that? So, all right. So, do we have anything else?
I think I'm good. I think it's about it.
Oh yeah,
nice to see.
I caught the Pinky race a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
DJ Kennington and one of the young Lapsevich kids, because there's 2 of them now.
Was it Caden and Taylor?
Yeah. So I think it was Taylor. It was a another Harvick Chase situation. DJ won, and Taylor comes right up to him in victory lane type thing, right? He goes, you wreck everybody. He goes, no, I don't. That's my brother. He went, whatever. Your whole family are nuts or whatever. He just dismissed him, and I was like, the wife, because this little, he's like, whatever. He goes, you wreck everybody. He goes, no, that's my brother. And you can hear it, because the mic just picked it up enough, and I'm just like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Other thing from Sunday, I forgot to say too, it's nice to see Cole Pern make his return on the spotter stand.
We just heard that he was there.
Yeah. He was the second spotter on the backstretch for Truex.
Oh man, did you notice the lack of people at that event? Like, I don't know if they're still doing limited capacity, but the stand stands like a nationwide race or Xfinity race. And I noticed that the 1 and 2, super duper row up there had about 3 RVs. Go around down into the backstretch where they tore down all those grandstands for apparently another 8 RVs. There was a bunch of empty cabana tables around 3 and 4 where the stand, because apparently you can just stand there at a,
they got some new pergola, some big stupid metal pergola that they built there.
And then the whole Robert Johnson camping area outside of turn 3 there, ghost town.
Yep.
There was nobody even using it. Well, the infield at 3 and 4 was full, because that's all, we know that's Gucci Row.
Well, but that's 3 and 4 is where they were trying to put most of the people.
Yeah.
Because Redneck Hill, they couldn't, because of the way it was going. There was even, once you're in, you were kind of locked in there. Anyway.
Junior, you're all about tradition. Just once, and the crest in Redneck Hill. Just say it once. Just say it once.
Yeah.
Come on, Junior, you can do it.
Like when Jeffrey on Saturday went for that slide. He could have did at least did a cooler slide down Redneck Hill.
Yeah, we've seen cooler slides on Redneck Hill. Yeah, that's not even a pun. Damn, that was just bad. All right. Well, on that note, I think we should probably wrap things up.
Sure. Yeah.
So we've been NasCanucks. If you're still watching, and you're one of the 3 people watching, and you haven't already subscribed, please do leave a like, leave a comment down below. Charles left a comment on the last show. That was cool. Just saying.
So, and it's not just him that has all the big people on his other show. if you're watching it down and back, there'll be a former WWE wrestler on the show coming on the show in the near future.
You got Doink the Clown?
Possibly.
It's Iron Mike Sharp.
No, actually, no, he died about 8 years ago.
I know. All right.
It's actually the missing link's best friend. So, see you, Marcus.